Megyn Kelly believes that something extremely drastic might happen if the Olympic Committee does not step in and stop Imane Khelif from competing. Algerian boxer Imane Khelif's 46-second victory at the Paris Olympics has ignited a heated debate over gender eligibility rules, with global public figures and sporting bodies weighing in. Italian boxer Angela Carini abandoned the match against Khelif on Thursday, walking away from the contest to her corner, which is an extremely rare scene in Olympic boxing. Carini did not shake Khelif's hand after the referee formally raised it. She cried in the ring, sinking to her knees. Minutes later, still tearful, Carini said she quit because of the pain from the opening punches. "I felt a severe pain in my nose, and with the maturity of a boxer, I said enough because I didn't want to. I couldn't finish the match." And Megyn Kelly, for one, well, she's had enough.
Splitting hairs. Everyone's splitting hairs around this person, saying, well, he has XY chromosomes, but I guess we can't call him a man because he calls himself a woman. I don't give a shit. You have XY chromosomes, you're a man. For athletic purposes and other purposes.
Now, this has been an extremely odd situation. The reality is that Imane Khelif was born a woman. However, she was banned at the World Championships because of the unfair advantage her genetic disorder gives her. In March 2023, Khelif was disqualified for failing to meet eligibility criteria shortly before her gold medal bout at the 2023 IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. The Algerian Olympic Committee said Khelif was disqualified for medical reasons. It was later reported that the disqualification was due to high levels of testosterone. According to International Boxing Association President Umar Kremlev, DNA testing of Khelif and other athletes proved they had XY chromosomes and were thus excluded from the sport's events. Now, there is speculation that Khelif may not be transgender but has a disorder of sex development, which causes some females to have XY chromosomes and blood testosterone levels typical of a male. So this provides her with a major advantage over her opponent. So Kelly has the right to be angry at this whole situation.
And this person was banned from competing in international tournaments last year, and yet was allowed to enter the Olympics so he could pummel female boxers. They failed the gender eligibility test. That's what they're saying.
If she couldn't qualify at the World Championships, well, then you really have to question why she was allowed to compete in the Olympics. Then, to make matters worse, Angela was fighting to honor her father. When she failed to do so, she broke down in tears, causing an extremely sad scene at the Olympics. In reality, she didn't even get the chance to fulfill her dream.
The outcome was beyond predictable for anyone with common sense. It took 46 seconds for the woman, his opponent from Italy, to withdraw from the fight in tears.
Her participation in the Paris Olympics has now become a divisive issue. Algerian officials and others sympathized with Khelif as she was targeted online. Algeria's Olympic Committee condemned what it called malicious and unethical attacks directed against our distinguished athlete Imane Khelif by certain foreign media. But Kelly has no sympathy for it.
This is what female athletes are up against when the powers that be will not protect them. Megan Rapinoe says it's not happening. She says they're fine. Why don't you tell it to Italian boxer Angela Carini, literally brought to her knees and to tears? F you, Megan Rapinoe.
And despite having her Olympic dreams dashed, Angela has kept her humble attitude. She said abandoning the fight had been a mature step to take, but she expressed regret at not shaking hands with Khelif afterward. "It wasn't something I intended to do. Actually, I want to apologize to her and everyone else. I was angry because my Olympics had gone up in smoke." She added that if she met Khelif again, she would embrace her. Well, that sounds like a true champion. Meanwhile, born in 1999, Khelif is from rural northwestern Algeria. Her father initially did not approve of girls participating in boxing, but Khelif said she gave up soccer as a teenager to pursue her new passion, even though she had to travel 10 kilometers each way to the gym. Khelif eventually caught the attention of Algeria's national team, making her major tournament debut in 2018 with a first-round loss at the AIBA World Championships. She lost 5 of her first 6 elite-level bouts, but improved and then excelled. So she is beatable. Now, Khelif was one of Algeria's first 3 Olympic women's boxers sent to Tokyo 3 years ago. She won her opening bout but lost her second to eventual gold medalist Kelly Harrington of Ireland. She also raised her profile by doing well in the next 2 world championships, and she even became a UNICEF national ambassador early this year. Many are pointing to the Olympic Committee and their mismanagement of this whole ordeal.
Thanks to a weak-kneed International Olympic Committee that allowed this to happen. Listen to how the IOC explained its decision just a few days ago.
Women in their passports, and it's stated that is the case, that they are female. They're competing in the women's category.
However, there are always 2 sides to every story. The reality is that Khelif was assigned female at birth, and it says so on her passport, which is the International Olympic Committee's threshold for eligibility for boxing because of the rift between the sport's governing body and the IOC. Khelif is a formidable athlete with respected fighting skills, contending in top international events, including major amateur boxing tournaments over the past 6 years, such as the Tokyo Olympics, and she's won a few regional gold medals. But Khelif was decidedly not known as a dominant champion, an overpowering physical specimen, or even a particularly hard puncher at her weight, which is why this situation is even more unique, according to Kelly.
Pummeled to the face. And this is a boxer. This is not a weak woman. The Italian who was boxing against this Algerian man. She's taken a beating before from other women. She doesn't complain. She said she got in there and within 46 seconds she knew, and I'll just read what she said. She wrote, "I got into the ring to fight, but I didn't feel like it anymore after the first minute."
A lot has been made about Khelif's disqualification from the World Championships, but there was also some shady business going on. She had previously competed without issues and was disqualified by the sport's governing body only after she defeated Russian boxer Azalea Amaneva in the 2023 tournament. The IBA is controlled by Umar Kremlev, who is Russian and brought in the state-owned energy supplier Gazprom as its primary sponsor and moved much of the governing body's operations over to Russia. The IOC described it as a sudden and arbitrary decision by the IBA in which Khelif and Lin Yuting of Taiwan were suddenly disqualified without any due process. So the reasons for the 2 disqualifications are extremely murky, as is most always the case with the IBA. The governing body has revealed little about the nature of the test, including what was tested and who tested it. This lack of transparency would be unacceptable in major Olympic sports, and the IBA has been banned from the Olympics since 2019. Well, that sounds kind of weird. However, Kelly foresees something terrible happening in the future.
Radical trans activists and those who support them are not going to be happy until a woman is dead. That's what it's going to take. A woman is going to have to die for people to see reason and logic here.
I don't think that would stop it.
One reason that this story has gotten more outcry than normal is because of the political aspect of things. Trump, Maloney, and others like Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling have complained about Khelif being allowed to compete. For the political far right in Italy, which has been targeting issues such as LGBTQ+ rights, Khelif's participation was just the latest evidence of woke culture infecting sport.
You should expect this. This is the next logical step of America's influence in the world. We are the leaders of the world. We have workshopped trans ideology and men and female sports, and it started here, and now it's in the Olympic boxing and the Olympic platform.
But many of the points made against Khelif have come from misinformation. Besides, some women are looking forward to the challenge of fighting Khelif. Her next opponent will be Luca Hamori of Hungary. She said that she isn't scared and doesn't care about the social media story. Sounds like she is completely locked in. Khelif is a medal contender in a sport where the Olympic draw can often determine the semifinal field by randomly pitting top fighters against each other too early in the competition. But Khelif isn't yet considered to be at the level of defending Olympic champion Boussouine Sermonelli of Turkey or 2023 world champion Yang Liu of China, the 2 top seeds in Paris. So it will be interesting to see how Khelif does in her next event. If she wins in another dominating fashion, Kelly will have more bulletin board material to use.